Welcome back to Crispy's Projects, and in this episode it's going to be something slightly different. I'm working on someone else's Caddy van and we're doing a BKD swap. So unfortunately I was going to show you how to fit it, changing all the wiring over to actually work with the original wiring loom. I'd worked out what couple of wires we needed to change, but that plan has completely changed because this beauty's turned up. So originally I'd got it for the seats and the dash, because as we know, rear seats and everything else go into the Caddies, and the dashboard's slightly better, clocks are better. It's actually got a temp gauge. Unfortunately, I don't know if this fortunately or unfortunately, it's got a BKD engine in as well, which means we're doing a full-blown conversion. Since it was sunny outside, I thought it might as well just work outside, save pushing it in and then pushing it back out. So we were planning just to do the dash because it's a little bit softer, a little bit nicer than a plasticky Caddy one. And then I thought the heating system's definitely better than this. We're halfway there, we might as well go all the way. Pull that out as well. How hard could that be? That was an absolute pain to get out. So a couple little things. We had to get the steering controls off here. There's a couple of screws that went down here, they were the hard ones, and also the airbags. So the airbag for the passenger side had to come out just to be able to access all that bracket, and then it just popped out. Right, this has been an absolute pain to get out, so it's been quite involved to get the heater box out as far as we have here, because it had the higher spec Climatronic. It's got all the different motors, it's got a slightly different heater box, I think, just the way that stuff swaps over. I managed to pull the crash bar out. So next up is going to be removing engine side of the wiring loom, just making sure what's what, because there's only really that section I can see that we need to replace, and the Climatronic. And we'll be able to take out the wiring from this side, because the other main bit of wiring loom sits right below there, so that is going to be an absolute pain to get out. So it's pretty much going to be that one, and I think another section of wiring that comes in, that's going to be for headlights, the horn. So next up is remove all this one, ECU and the fuse box, and the rest of it should be plain sailing. So that was a faff to get all that out, all to get those extra wires. So as I said, we had sorted out more or less where all the other wires were going, just to sort of get it to work, which would have probably been the easiest option, apart from this is a higher spec vehicle. Because I don't really like to join wires if I don't have to inside, outside a vehicle, but inside a vehicle is alright. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. We're just in the middle of taking out the other dashboard. So if we go and compare it to what's in the other side, you can see here where all the wiring had all been altered. So I'm going to take all that out, put this one in, refix all the bits I had fixed, put in the higher spec fuse box, and pretty much away we go. It should be fairly simple, shouldn't it? So as we can see here, almost got it out. So I managed to pull all this off the top just to get all this loose. I'm going to keep the original loom in here. I'm going to take the box out. There's one little 10mm that's tucked away there that's really annoying. But a lot of the motors and stuff to do the Climatronic is all standalone little wiring loom that stays with the heater box. And then all I've got to do is work out where all these go, because that's the other main difference, which all those wires are probably in the original loom. I had tried to swap over to the Highline fuse box a few weeks prior. They designed it in such a way the wires weren't swapping over and anything was working. So the engine wires are now getting swapped into the low line fuse box, because I thought that was going to be the easiest way. While I'm in the middle of this, Danny's welding in the brackets that's needed for the Turan seats to fit in the back. And as he said, there's storage everywhere. So hopefully that's the majority of the wiring sort of semi-sorted, he says. So I've wired in a couple of the connectors in there that I've worked out from comparing the two wiring diagrams. We've ported some wires over, which I'd done a couple of weeks ago, so it's pretty much time to plug in the ECU, see if we get communication to it before trying anything else. I'm putting a battery on. Finish welding? For now? Yeah? Battery? Let's hope there's no smoke. So we've all got it plugged in finally. We didn't get ignition lights first of all, but we've took the control module off the bottom, so we're just going to see if we got communication, which is going to be the first port of call. So it's beeping, we got ignitions on. Is it talking to anything? ABS?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing. That looks like I've messed up a little bit. So I've pulled out, swapped over one of the wires, but yet one of the wires is still connected to the ECU. So that is the one that triggers the relay to switch on. Something like position 4, position 6. So the one wire that are not connected happens to be the one wire that the ECU uses to switch on the relay that powers all the other stuff on the engine. So while I swap that over, check the continuity, so it's now working to where the relay trigger should be. I'll leave Danny in the van, just putting the seats back in. Okay, I've got good continuity there. So, oh, we've got communication. Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see what fault codes we've got in there. EGR system, no flow.
Well, there won't be a flow, will there?
AMAS sensor, fair enough. Powertrain, ABS, it missing. No signal from the intake flap intermitter. Now, let's just clear them all off. Let's see what's there. No fault found. Don't like the sound of that. It's like the ignition.
Oh, fuel pump.
Good start. Fuel pump, but it's not quite a start, but yeah.
It's a nice noise, isn't it?
The reassuring noise. Alright. Coolant fan, open circuit.
And fan plugged in.
EGR valve, open circuit.
We have no idea about that, do
Air intake.
we? Not plugged in.
Missing communication from AC controller. Boost pressure signal not connected. Altitude sensor, boost pressure sensor. Immobilizer. Good start.
Yeah. Which in theory is put the other key next to that ring now with the other clocks in.
So I'm going to put that down as a bit of a success. So I'm going to run through the faults. So one of them is boost pressure sensor not connected, whereas I can see it there, so probably something back to the ECU. There's probably something I've missed, or air mass meter. Just need to get them all plugged in, make sure they're all right. And there's voltage and stuff going to the solenoid valve that's down there. It's unusual. Anyway, sort that out in a minute.
1 hour later.
Managed to source one of the problems. So, air mass meter is missing. We found an air mass meter. That will do. So one of the faults I've been trying to chase has been the manifold boost pressure sensor. So originally it wasn't connected and I've reconnected to it, but it kept coming up with faulty. And then I eventually found a little rub in the wire. So now that's been repaired with a soldering clamp, and that is now showing full continuity on there. And it was just damaged inside there where it had been rubbing, where it had been vibrating. Just rubbed through a little bit, causing a bit of high resistance. So hopefully we're closer to getting some faults off here. Now, quite concerning is that one of these has come up for this being either an open circuit or something, so I need to make sure that that's physically connected. So we've just tried cranking her over. I'm not too sure if we put oil in or not, because this engine has been out for a while, but I've basically been... So, fault with this motor has actually been that there's no wires connected there, so I've put an extra wire in because part of the original loom had been chopped. So I've added it into a fuse, just been trying to crank it over, but there's no fuel in any of the injectors and stuff, fuel to come through. Let's see where we are with the oil. No, it's still dry, come on. At least you remembered.
Yeah.
So it should run.
Or, do you want to try that now? Now you've done that wiring.
Come on, come on. I think that's a little bit of a result there, isn't it? She's running. Okay. Off. That's not really connected. That's sort of connected, but at least it's running. Be interesting to see what faults it's got. What we got inside? So it's not Blackpool. You tried revving it up. So I think the only thing I really need to do is actually start to put that actual fuse box back after I give it a scan. We'll scan through, see what faults are there, see if we're happy to just finish off that wiring. So we've put the Terrain clocks in, changed the key fob over, and she's happy. Hey. Load adjusting. So let's have a look. Oh, we're doing a burnout. That's a nice car. How far are you going? Can't see it now, can we? End of the day, all be done. You said it's going back together.
It is going back together. I didn't say it'd be done by the end of the day. It'd be nice.